how are we really going to make it from a fossil-based fuel society into a renewable society? Where do you see the new real breakthroughs? And how are we going to make sure that we set the price on the externalities? How do we internalize the externalities that we are currently seeing in the global energy mix?
Well, the rich countries have to play a central role, both funding R&D and having policies. In some cases, carbon taxes will be used to drive the demand for these clean products. And only by doing that in an aggressive way will the economic costs be brought down enough that we can turn to all the middle-income countries and say, okay, change your whole cement. I
don't know if you understand. If you don't know, this is Bill Gates' goofy ass talking. I don't know if you understand what he just said, but he basically just said, in order to push essentially the fourth industrial revolution, to push this, clean energy bullshit that they're pushing, they're going to initiate things such as carbon taxes to generate the money to offset the economic hit, so that they can go tell, lower income countries to change their infrastructure to do what we fucking say. That's literally what he's saying here. He's so you can't fucking understand. It's hard to follow what he's saying, but he's giving you game. He's basically saying, look, we're gonna tax your asses based on your carbon footprint, so that we can push, so Klaus Schwab and all their fucking goonies can jerk off in our faces.
Industry, change your whole steel industry, and yet it's not holding you back from your economic growth. The number of companies working on these things is very exciting. And some of them will fail. A lot of them will fail. But we only need a reasonable number, a few dozen of them, to make it through. And that's what we have to accelerate.
What the fuck? Welcome back, folks.
Oh, my bad. I thought you turned it out. Like, oh.
I was DJing. I was DJing a little bit.
Oh.
Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Hunter. Damn, we losing some viewers. I guess nobody likes Meshuggah. The fuck, man? Well, guess what? We do. All right. I'm ready to fucking cast. I got. Look, we're back, folks. Welcome back to the Contemporary Comrades Podcast. We if you missed if you were hip enough to catch the test stream we did earlier that failed, shout out to you. Otherwise, it's gone into the internet dust, never to be seen again. So, anyway, it's your boy Heavy J. Corn, say what's up, man.
What is up, everybody? This is attempt number 2, like Heavy J said. But like I said in the last stream, or a few minutes ago, it's the last cast of the month. So you already know this one's gonna be lit. Thank you all for coming through. I see we got some new viewers as well. Thank you all for coming through. Make sure you guys hit that like, that subscribe, all that good stuff. You know, me and Jeremy, we're gonna be spitting the fire tonight. So stay tuned.
I mean, I ain't got much else to say other than that. Let me get some of these comments first. Shout out to Mark. He said it sucks. OBS was laggy and buffering in and out. It's my internet, bro. It's my country ass internet, and it's not OBS, or at least I don't think it is, because I lag on here. So, what are you saying, Corn?
Yeah, I was gonna say it was probably mine too. I had like a million tabs open as well.
Maybe, but I feel like you would have just lagged. I was hosting it, so like, and it couldn't even hear me. So it's just my country ass internet. I got DSL, bro. It is what it is. I'm not here in the sticks, man. Hunter said, "Oh, he's talking to Mark." Said that's because Tate's father's a Freemason. Oh, y'all talking about All right, so Hunter said, "Have you heard that Tate's father is a Freemason?" Yeah, we've been heard that. Well, I mean, I have anyway. Corn, I don't know if you knew that.
No, I don't know shit about Andrew Tate's dad. I wouldn't
Right.
I wouldn't know anything like that. But
That's
I
fair.
mean, cool to know though. I'm sure that has a big hand in him and the way he moves. You know.
Yeah, I think it has already. I mean, we could. I mean, I didn't really want to bring up the whole Tate thing because otherwise,
Why didn't you?
I was gonna say otherwise I would have put it in the title to get them views, but
I'm dead.
you already know. But you say, well, why didn't I?
Yeah, why didn't you want to talk about Andrew Tate?
I'm
just curious. I mean, not to.
Honestly, I don't really have my own opinion on the situation yet, to be honest. Like I don't really have like I don't have my thoughts together on it, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't really given it that much energy, so like I didn't really want to talk about it. But I mean, I watched him before he got canceled, then he got canceled, now he's been uncanceled, and then I've seen him again after that. And I don't know, man. It's just kind of weird. The whole thing is just kind of weird to me. Like the whole Andrew Tate thing is just weird. So like we might end up talking about him, next week or something like that. But for now,
yeah,
I don't really want to.
There's definitely more to come, and y'all might hear something from me, or on maybe I might do something about that. But yeah, it's wild. It's wild shit. I didn't know the whole thing about going on. I mean, I don't know, his whole family and extended and all that other stuff, but I know, about him himself and the stuff that he's been saying. Yeah, it's some crazy, and then the way people are reacting too, like all the fucking, it's a lot of things to take away from this. I will say that.
That is true. Yeah. That is true. So yeah, if we don't do it here, I'm sure Corn will hop on it ASAP on Hap. So it might be on both places too. You never know. So it depends. Shout out to Marty says sounds like climate talks will start off at the show for tonight. It very well could, man. It very well could. I think we might actually do that actually. So yeah, I think we might go ahead and do that. Shout out to Nate. Says, "What's up, fellas? What's going on, bro? Hope you're doing well. Condolences on earlier, but hope you're doing well, fam. Shout out to Big Nate in the building. Let's see. Hunter said he believes that the Tate bros will be taken out or cloned. I don't know about that, bro. I mean, maybe. Hunter also says, go check out the channel called Call Me Kinfolk. Should I even search that?
No, well, let's not search it right now. But we'll check it out. We might check it out.
I'm curious. I want to look at it. But what's it about, dude? Tell us what's it about. Just to ease my mind a little bit. Shout out to the OG RevX content. What's good with you, bro?
Shout out, man.
Thanks for coming through, man.
Hey, we lit in the chat tonight. Hey, we got 5 people in here. We need to get at least 5 likes. We gotta get at least 5 likes tonight.
Facts. We probably already got them. I can't. If I was on OBS, I could tell. You know what I'm saying? I could throw up a little fucking thing that says so and so liked the video and shit.
Oh, dude.
But anyway, That's coming soon. We got some upgrades for 2023 coming. Don't worry about that, folks. You can't stay stagnant. Shit don't grow like that. But anyway, I guess we're getting into these topics, man. Rise content, man. A few words a night. I feel you, bro. I'm just messing. So we'll get into the first topic here. World Economic Forum. Our friends. Oh shit! Hold on. Hold on. Hunter answered me. He said this dude predicted the death of Tate and his brother. They haven't died yet. So how does it been? Ain't nothing predicted yet, bro. If it was predicted, it would have had to happen already. And as far as I know, they ain't dead. I don't know, man. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of weird shit with that, and I just need to gather my thoughts on it. Basically, it's a whole bunch of shit with that whole Tate shit because it can go a few different ways, and I see it from a few different angles that I'm guarantee a lot of you aren't seeing it from. So
that's what I was getting at. Is that there's I don't want to bring this back to wrestling, but it's like Raw versus SmackDown when you had the creative story mode and you could do different branches of different options of if this happens then this is gonna happen. That's what the Andrew Tate situation is like to me, where it's like there's branches of this could happen to them, this could happen to, like, there's so many ways because we've seen it happen so many times to people less important than these guys. So again, it's just one of those things where we gotta wait for it to play out, man.
Yep, pretty much. All right, well, let's get into the shit, man. So our good old friends at the World Economic Forum basically want you to delete your pets to fight climate change. So they have coined this the carbon paw print that animals produce as a result of eating meat. Because remember, animals also eat meat, even in them fucking kibbles and shit. There's meat in there, right? So basically, what the World Economic Forum wants to do is they want to introduce an international policy, not just a regional something or other, an international policy that will require the majority of pet owners to euthanize their animals across the world. So much so that they've inquired with CNN to put out basically a propaganda piece titled it's in their Life But Greener section. And I can show you guys this real quick just to show you I'm not bullshitting, because you know how we do. Let's see. Should be this one. See, they you know what they do, right? They prep you for it. They get you eased up, and then they hit you with what they want you to do. So you see it right there. Now they're blaming pets for the quote unquote climate problem that if you ask me doesn't exist. But again, we've beaten that horse a few times. But anyway, CNN article says that you should do an assessment of your pet's diet, cut out waste, adopt responsibility. Those are their three broad generic ass.
What do they mean by adopt responsibility? What does that mean?
They say here, basically, the general rule is that larger pets will have a larger climate impact than smaller ones because they need more food. They said, so you might consider smaller breeds or species if you're aiming to minimize your impact on the planet.
So now they want to turn, oh my God.
A Chihuahua's carbon paw print will be much smaller than a Saint Bernard, for example.
How did I know they were going to do that shit?
Of course, bro. Of course.
How did I know that they were going to say some shit like that?
Of course.
Oh yeah, your little Yorkie, yeah, you can keep that, but the Beagle Hound you can't have. Fam, what?
Right. And here we go. Avoiding animals with known health problems will reduce the need for veterinary intervention, which has a carbon footprint. and most importantly, will reduce unnecessary suffering in terms of poor health and welfare.
Wait, say that again. That first part. They're saying to get
They're
rid
saying
of the pets with the health problems.
they're saying avoiding animals with known health problems.
So you know what this sounds like, right?
Go tell them, enlighten
You know what
us.
this sounds like, right? What's going on in Canada? What they just rolled out in Canada for 2023, which is the whole hey, low health. All right, you can legally off yourself. Now I'm sure it's not as simple as that as
Oh
more
yeah, I
think.
did see that. Yeah,
but yeah, Canada's got this whole rollout now of people with health problems, people that because somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I wish Mikey was in here right now to let us know, inform us on the whole healthcare situation in Canada.
shout out to Mikey.
Yeah, shout out to Mikey. But I think that Canada has universal healthcare, right? To an extent, I think it is.
Yeah.
Well,
Universal Healthcare Light.
You said universal healthcare light.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm dead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're just lagging a little bit, but I think your audio is behind your actual picture. I think it is, but
Okay.
or your picture's behind your audio. I'm not sure. I'm a dumbass, but anyways, what I wanted to say is that this whole rollout that Canada's doing right now sounds like the exact same thing that WEF, that the World Economic Forum, is doing, which is you got pets with health problems, you got pets, larger pets that you need to get, because I wouldn't put it past them. And tonight we're going to be talking a lot about this whole policing, universal policing. I feel like that should be one of two big words for tonight's cast, because we're going to be running into that a lot with these topics tonight. But when it comes to larger pets, and it comes to saying pets with health problems like that, you know how easy it is. And how easy it will be. I mean, we already seeing what's happening on the other side of the world right now. So we know how easy it's going to be for people, whether it's going to be animal carers, whether it's going to be pest control, maybe not pest control, what do they call them? Animal control, coming, walking through the streets, making sure, because everybody has to have their pets registered anyways. Depending on where you live at in the world, you got to have your shit registered. So first of all, you're already going to be running into a problem if it's not registered.
Yep.
Second of all, if it is registered, there's gonna be I'm telling you, anything the government has on you in terms of where you live, your pets, all that stuff, they have you on lock.
Yep.
So you think you're gonna be running around with two beagle hounds? And I know I keep saying beagle hounds, but it's just because I had a beagle hound when I was a kid. That's literally the only kind of dog I pretty much know. But so if you're walking around with two beagle hounds and they're saying, "Hey, fam, those are too big. They're not meeting our standards," because there's going to be a whole rollout with standards, height, weight, all that shit, breed, all that shit. And look, this comes from somebody who probably would never own a pit bull or a bulldog. But guess what? Guess who they're going to be going after first? These fucking pit bulls.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Pit bulls, Great Danes, hounds, all that shit. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. But I'm telling you right now, pay close attention to everything that is happening, especially when it comes to the country up north. Okay. Because what's going to be happening in terms of healthcare in there, and in terms of you want to legally off yourself, or all this other stuff. And now we're seeing World Economic Forum's having this whole rollout with pets. What do you guys think is going to happen next? Just carry that with you for a second. What do you think is going to happen next? Crazy.
Y'all ponder and let us know in the comments what you think is going to happen next about that. Because I think so. As grim as this sounds, this is the unfortunate future that we're probably going to, be involved in, which is a lot of death. It's going to be a lot of death in the next 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
A lot more than normal. And you can see the stage setting for that right now. Like they're literally saying off your pet. I didn't even get into what the WEF said, which I'll read here in a minute. But they're telling you to, you got Canada, who Justin Trudeau, the prime minister, is a World Economic Forum
Puppet.
school graduate. I mean, him and Klaus, do what they do in their backroom shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? He's a Klaus Schwab puppet, 100% through and through. So of course they're gonna legalize, self deletion. You know what I mean? Of course they're gonna legalize that shit. So let's see here. Let's read a little bit more of this article. So Bloomberg. So you got CNN. We read the CNN article. Bloomberg has also said, Bloomberg has also urged pet owners to let their pets die to fight inflation. So they were using that to fight inflation because Bloomberg is more of a monetary publication. So they do the same thing. They tweak it for their audience because there's always a crisis or always something going on that they can tie some bullshit to conveniently, and then that's how that works. So like we're literally, if you haven't learned anything on this podcast, you will have learned to dissect propaganda. We dissect propaganda on this podcast every single fucking week. So if there's anything that you have learned here, I hope that it's how to see through the bullshit that they fucking pump out and push down our fucking throats. Pause. So then you've got Emma Thompson, actor. I believe she's an actress, telling pet owners to eat their own pets to survive the climate crisis.
I'm surprised I didn't throw Madonna out there and have her tell everybody that.
Right, I know, right? Fucking yeah. They should have had somebody super creepy, like Madonna or fucking Kris Jenner or somebody come out and say that shit. Couple of witches, you know what I'm saying? Oh shit. Shit. Where there was one part that I wanted to actually I wanted to read. I think I might have already read it. Yeah. So even Klaus Schwab's I guess you call him his right hand man. That dude Yuval Harari, who the guy who was saying that we're God and all that shit. You remember we talked about him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said last week he basically said the big political question of the 21st century is, quote, what do we need so many humans for? Of course. He basically declared that the World Economic Forum considers the vast majority of the human population to be obsolete, useless, and redundant. You heard that right. He literally said, we just don't need the vast majority of you.
Yeah, that's probably somebody that should not be in any kind of leadership.
Except he's in the fucking. Except he's a right hand man in the biggest. I mean, I guess one of the biggest global conglomerates that oversee, the direction of the entire globe,
the world.
Yeah, it's just pretty wild. So that's an update on the WEF and basically what they think of us, and how they're shaping the policies that they're making based on their view of the people they're making the policies about, right?
And this is also proven that everything we said is going to happen. Oh yeah, and like we said too, this whole 2030 bullshit that we were talking about, yeah, that's sped up. It's no longer 2030. I want to let y'all know that. More like 2025, 2026.
Yep. And I don't know. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and spill the beans on this, Corn. I don't know if you guys have watched this show called Peripheral on Amazon Prime or not, but I think Corn and I are going to do a fucking review of it on Comrades here. That's kind of loosely the plan. And that show, I don't know how far you're in, Corn. I've already watched the whole thing. I don't know how far you're in, but that show basically corroborates what we just read from a timeline perspective. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to spoil it for Corn. I don't know if he's watched the whole thing yet. I'm glad you took the headphones off.
As soon as you started getting to it, I was like, bro, I'm not that far yet. I'm not that far yet.
No, yeah, but I didn't. Like I said, I didn't want to say too much. But we'll be tying in a few things when we do that review. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about the show. We'll be tying in a few things that we've talked about throughout this podcast, and with that show for sure. But yeah, this is what they think about us, folks. This is it. The majority of people are redundant and useless. Now, this is why it's important to have sense of self. This is why it's important to know who you are, because you should know that you're not redundant, useless, and whatever the fuck these ass wipes are saying about you. You know what I'm saying? You should fucking know that inside you. You know, so whatever the fuck they say, that doesn't bother me from that perspective. Now, if a lot of their sick, twisted ideas come to life, that that could be a problem. But if you understand how to essentially bend your life to your will, you can avoid these certain things. So I'm hoping that not hoping, but how do I put this? Look, I feel like some shit's gonna go down. I feel like the harder that these motherfuckers try and take the full grip on reality, I think the harder the universe is going to push back against it, because that's what I'm seeing right now. Like, I don't know if you've noticed it, Corn, but like, there's a lot of clean sweeping of the streets, if you will, going on. A lot of shit being outed. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit that we knew was the case 10 years ago, but like they're saying it now. Like, it's happening every fucking day. It's like, dude, everything is getting aired out.
That's what I've been saying the past few months. I'm like, look, especially when the whole Kanye thing, when it was, I forgot who it was, but like I said, when I made the comparison between, what's his name, and Kanye, Orlando Brown, I said, Kanye is the more credible Orlando Brown. Like Orlando Brown, he could be credible, but dude's so drugged up, dude's so crazy, whatever. And then obviously, now what have they made Kanye? Well, I guess Kanye kind of played a big part in that as well. What does Kanye look like to everybody now? Crazy, weird, all that stuff, and he possibly is. But at the same time, you see what they're doing to everybody every single time. All these secrets are coming out. The Charleston Whites of the world, the Kanyes of the world. You had what was that? I forget the Matt something, the white actor. He's not that big, but whatever. He came out. He's been coming out. I think Mars.
Not Matt Damon, is it?
No, not Matt. No, not an A-list actor, but he's an actor, like a Hollywood actor. But he just came out and started talking about some of the inner workings of stuff and inner workings of Hollywood and the government.
Oh hell,
and the propaganda stuff that's going on there.
He's asking for
it. We're seeing time and time again that they're going. I don't know what's going to happen. Like I'm not saying we need to stop pushing back. I mean that's what we do here. That's what we do on this channel. That's what I do on my channel. We push back against that kind of stuff, against the propaganda and all this weird stuff, the weirdo, stupid stuff that the government's trying to push on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I look at this and I'm just like, bro, like when you just said a couple minutes ago, where you said, hopefully that stuff doesn't come true of what old dude's trying to do. Mm-hmm. And what old dude is coming, all these weird imaginations coming up in his head. But the funny thing is, look, as much as I want to be the guy to say I don't think it's gonna happen, I'm a realist, man. Like it's gonna happen. We've gotten this far. We've gotten this far. Yeah, because we've already gotten this far in humanity, this far in society, where people are literally believing there's more than two genders. Like once you get past that point, it's like, bro, you're so far gone.
You're
I just watched the video today. That a chick literally did a TikTok saying that she took testosterone pills and now she has a balls and dick after a month. That's not possible. So it and people believe in her. Like, that's the funny thing about it. People are literally defending her. So once you get to that point in humanity, that point where people's minds are already warped and already, I guess you could, I know we say brainwash all the time, but that's just what it is. It's brainwashing.
Yep.
Once you get to the point where majority of society can be, and I'm not saying that majority of society is bending to the knee to everybody, but we don't see the majority of people fighting back, pushing back either. So I'd be
not at all. Not at all.
To me, it's mostly a rarity. Like, I can't count the internet as 50-50. I can't say, yeah, because half the people on Twitter or half the people on Instagram are against the agenda and the other half aren't. To me, that's still not 50-50 in terms of society. That's just 50-50 on a fucking social media that I see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
which is very biased.
very, very biased. So when you walk outside your door and it's like, okay, they're trying to implement this, are majority of people pushing back or are the majority of people fucking bending the knee to it? I'm gonna ask you guys this: in 2020, in 2021, how much percent of the population of America was vaxxed? And you tell me, was it the majority that pushed back or was it the majority that bent the knee? And the funny thing is, to go back to the topic, the funny thing is, all this, they don't give a fuck what they tell us the excuse is for us to, quote unquote, try and get rid of our, larger pets and pets are healthy. You know what they said? Do it for climate change.
Yeah.
They could have came up with anything. They said climate change and inflation. What?
The two fucking like,
yeah. I wonder how many people are actually going to believe this. How many people are actually going to... We know California and New York is lost. We know there's going to be a bunch of New Yorkers doing it. We know there's going to be a bunch of Californians, Clownifornians doing it. We know it's going to happen. But other than that, I wonder whether the majority of people are actually going to look at this and say, you are costing me money.
Right.
It is hot outside.
Right.
It's weird, man. To me, like, I know I make a joke of it and everything because I just joke a lot, but at the same time, like, this is concerning, fam. Like, this is
fucked up.
Because if people start literally offering their own fucking pets because of this, we're truly lost.
I'll tell you when we know, when it becomes a mandate instead of a suggestion.
Yeah.
That's when you'll know. When they say, hey, you must, instead of we think you should. And here's
you know what it's going to be, though? It's going to be a bunch of sites where you can just drop your pet off so you don't have to go through all that to kill it.
Of course.
And they're going to give you money. They're going to offer, what was that? What was all that shit they offered 2 years ago? They offer haircuts. They offered
donuts,
they offered
weed.
Donuts. They offered free weed. They offered lap dances. What else did they offer?
$100. $100. Shit. I mean, everything, man. You name it. You name it. Beans, greens, tomatoes, yams.
Facts. They offered every fucking thing under the sun for you just to get a fucking fucking sticky icky in the arm. So what do you think they're gonna do in the name of climate change? What do you think they're gonna do in the name of getting rid of your pets? Because once you get rid of your pets, and then once you get rid of your weapons, which is what's going to be next after that, if not before that, because that is on the agenda. Once you get rid of those things, and once they see, humanity's listening to us, society's listening to us when we tell them to get rid of all their shit, and then because getting rid of your weapons is one thing, right? That's going to be a war in its own, right? To try and grab guns and other weapons from our Americans' hands, from our hands, right? Mm-hmm. That's going to be a war in itself. The pets, right? The whole pet thing that we're talking about. That's really going to be the thing that says they've gone beyond the point of return.
I would agree.
Because what did they say? A pet is a man's best friend.
A dog. That's saying for a dog.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. I think like petting and but yes, dog is a man's best friend. Let's use a dog for example, because that's the most common pet, I believe. So, what are they gonna do? I mean, what can you do when you see that humanity is already dropping their pets off to be offed? Because that's not just like a I don't get how you can look at a dog that you've raised since a pup
Right.
for years and just say, well, they're telling me I gotta fucking do it. They're telling me I gotta like I can see if you
It's for the good of the climate.
I can see if you had a violent dog that bit somebody and you gotta put it something like that. You're talking a pet, a peaceful dog, minds its own business, cool, live with you. It's like your fucking best friend.
Right. Right.
And you're saying, well, I gotta get rid of you.
Right. And keep in mind too, they were just promoting pets not that long ago. Get you a COVID cuddle buddy. Get you know what I'm saying? Get you this and that. They're just telling people to go out and get all these fucking pets. So now I got all these people with pets don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
And then now they're like, oh, by the way, you should ice them in the name of climate change.
Yeah. And for just this might be a little off topic, just bear with me. You know the therapeutic dogs? I forget what they call them. Aren't those larger dogs? Aren't they all larger
Those
dogs?
typically are, yes.
I don't get how they're gonna do this. Good luck.
Again, yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. And then but I mean you can keep your hamster and your iguana, well maybe not your iguana because you got to run a heat lamp. But you keep your hamster, keep your turtle. You know what I'm saying? But get rid of your big dog, get rid of your cats. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of your mini horses and shit like that, right?
Crazy. Crazy.
A Chihuahua has a smaller carbon footprint than a Saint Bernard. By what margin? And how are we measuring this?
Facts.
I mean, I guess we'll find out when they start hitting niggas with that stupid ass carbon tax. Carbon tax.
Yeah.
Paying fines based on your quote unquote carbon footprint. What? You know what? This shit just gets dumber and more bizarre by the day, bro. It really does. It just gets more bizarre by the day. And the thing is, they're dead fucking serious about it too.
Yeah, I mean they usually are.
Right. That's what gets me.
It 10 years ago, this would have seemed outlandish.
Oh yeah.
But after everything we've witnessed, after all the fucking, I wouldn't say all the secrets. There's way more secrets left to come out of the bag.
Yeah.
There's way more cats in the bag, to come out. But I think that in this day and age, anything that happens now, and I said this a couple years ago, is during the pandemic, we thought we saw everything, but I think just goes back to the whole humanity and society thing, which is like we're gonna see every single day we see weirder and weirder shit. I saw a dude hanging from his freaking underwear in a New York subway. A video of that shit yesterday.
I bet.
Literally just screaming for help. I'm like, bruh.
What the hell?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. But
I'm sure all the New Yorkers are sitting there like this on their phones with their headphones in. Like,
no, so whoever took the video of it was just walking by back and forth.
I bet.
I'm like, bro, like once you see what everyone, at least in America, saw in 2020, the summer of love, that broke everything. It broke everything. Because what have we been seeing ever since? Weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder stuff.
Yep, indeed. Let's get to some of these comments. Hunter says, where you guys been? I have a business and a full-time job. Corn works 2 full-time jobs worth of time in this one job. And the topics ain't been, you know what I'm saying? The topics ain't been like that lately. It just hasn't been there. But we're here now, man. Don't worry about it. We are here. Here ready to entertain. But no, shit. It's just been life, bro. You know how it goes. Trust me, me and Corn always gonna cast. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about that. Don't fucking worry about that. well, if you don't see us for 3 weeks, we'll be there the next week, basically.
Facts. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Yeah.
Basically. Mark says, interesting tactic by WF to suggest to us. Every day it's always something with them to strip away things we value the most by suggesting and possibly by force, with like the itis and climate change. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, and I want to say too, I go back to when I mentioned the whole Canada thing of what they roll out. Imagine your loved ones. They're gonna break a lot of fucking people, a lot of Canadians in the next couple years, because they're gonna make some decisions, some immoral decisions, based off of this rollout that they're doing of offing the elderly if they can't pay their I forget what
that's
I
gonna be
forget what the
next.
reasoning. I forget what I know one of them is health problems, but I forget what the main reasoning is for this rollout of being able to, like, pretty much do what they're trying to do.
Mhm.
But yeah, I can see you in a link, Jaron. I just saw that shit not too late, about I think
Okay.
last week or a couple weeks ago. But yeah, it's some crazy stuff, man. Most definitely. But yeah, like you said, and then trying to do it for climate change, it's just extra nasty. The fact that they're saying, "Yo, for climate change, you should do it." That because my whole thing is, if you don't do that, you're doing the same thing everybody was doing in 2020 and 2021, not doing their fucking research. A quick Google search on climate change could definitely clear your mind.
Mega facts. Mark also said, yeah, I won't be surprised when there'll be actual people who will delete their own pets from a concept that, quote, organizations that claim to have our best interests in mind. Oh yeah. When they say do it, they'll do it. But until then, they're not going to do it. Yeah, that's basically what's going to happen. Because people don't like being told what to do. A few of them might, just because if they're that crazy. But until they start telling people to actually, like, you need to do this, I don't see it too much of it happening, to be honest. But all they got to do is say jump, and then everybody's like, how high? Yes, Massa. Yes, Klaus Schwab. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Fraud. Yes, Dr. Frauci.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Fucking Scrooge, really. But but yeah.
I accidentally sent it in. I'm dead. I accidentally sent it in the Hey, that was in there. If you guys want to go, if you guys want to check it out,
there
that article is right there. I was sitting in the private chat though. My bad.
No, all good. But yeah, there it is. If y'all want to see why people's self-deletion and shit, there it goes. There's a link. Oh man, it's just crazy, bro. They're coming for our pets. You know what I mean? And I guess while we're on the World Economic Forum topic, I guess that entity. I just wanted to share a quick video that they've come out with about a mRNA universal flu jab. So basically what this is going to do is going to use the same technology that's in the itis jab, which you know what time it is at that point. You know what the itis jab's doing to people. You know what we said about the mRNA technology. We went over CRISPR, the gene editing stuff that was used to develop mRNA. We went over what the founder of mRNA said about it. Said it's not jab, it's gene therapy, and we went over all this, right? We've gone over the past few years. So if you are lost to what the phrase mRNA means in front of something, you just go back to the last 2.5 years of the fucking channel and become enlightened. But I'm gonna play this video real quick of what they've developed, and then we'll get to the next topic. There you go. Right there. Oh, what do you know?
A nasty
Australia had its worst flu outbreak in 5 years. How many percent of that population is jabbed? Was it 99? 98? Don't I ain't gonna tell nobody else. Would you have the new flu shot? They asked the question. Would you have the new universal gene editing flu shot that carries all the known flu strains? Bro, do you know how fucked up people are going to be getting 20 flu strains worth of DNA pumped into them?
Yeah, I mean, look at how sick everybody's getting now. Look at all the side effects of just the normal jab that everybody got, or one of the 3 normal jabs that everybody got. Right.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about a universal.
I mean,
like that's crazy. A universal vax is freaking insane.
I mean, hell, we already at that, but yeah. Within 2 years, they talking about.
And if you saw what they said too, they said that we're in, how do they know that we're in for the a nasty flu this year? Isn't that what it said?
Mm-hmm.
How do they know that? I'll tell you how they know that. They're going to implement it.
Exactly.
They can falsify reports and say that there's 179,000 new cases of whatever the fuck, and there's only like 2. They can do that and then send it straight to CNN and Fox and have everybody shook. Yep. Within 2 hours, breaking news, have the whole entire country shook off of just 2 cases, and say it's 179,000.
Yep. Yep.
I do have a question for you though. After watching that video, you think that now, obviously we don't want it to happen, right? But do you think when they actually do this rollout for the universal vaccine, they're going to make it mandatory, like absolutely mandatory, because it's going to be a universal vaccine?
I see it being immediately as mandatory as the flu shots are now, which is, I mean, kind of not really, but if they're given enough of a reason to make it mandatory, aka a bad flu outbreak like they were talking about could possibly happen in that video, then I could see that being a thing. It's like, oh, the flu is real bad this year. You know, got to get your flu jab with 20 other strains, but not this one, because that's going to protect you from this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Yeah.
So they're trying really, really hard to get y'all folks caught up, man. They're trying hard, bro.
I don't know. I really don't know what to take from that fucking video, because they pretty much said right there in that video of, hey, here's what we're going to do. Here's what's going to happen. And y'all know how we know what's going to happen. So just be ready. That, to me, that's more of a warning sign. That whole video was.
It's like you got a break in 2022, but you know what I'm saying? Wait, you know, that's basically what they're saying. Like, we gave y'all a break in 22. Got rid of the mask mandates. You heard United States is already requiring anybody that comes back from China to have a negative ITIS test.
Yeah, I don't know why they're still letting niggas go to and from China to begin with still.
Right.
Like, I don't know why. But, well, actually, I do know why. But to me, again, I'm somebody that uses common sense. So that's why I automatically think, I don't know why the fuck they're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it ain't over with.
Yeah.
Put it that way. It ain't no fucking over with. So. I guess we'll get into we'll shift gears here and get into good old whatever. Elon Musk is confident that Neuralink can begin human trials in 6 months. Just so y'all know, we ain't bullshitting. Here's Elon's tweet. We are now confident that Neuralink device is ready for humans, so timing is a function of working through the FDA approval process.
So, in other words, you just need some paper sign. FDA is going to approve it. There's no way FDA is not going to approve this.
Is it going to give them an infection? No. Okay, go ahead and put it in them. I don't give a fuck. The FDA already let you know what the FDA just let through, clearly. So what the FDA just approved, quote unquote. So Neuralink should be a drop in a bucket.
Yep.
You know, you got gene altering, so now let's get mind altering in there, and then we'll have a fucking party.
It's crazy that they're gonna, again, like we know why, but at the end of the day, it's still crazy that they're gonna they're just gonna let something pass like this. Like, hey, you want to surgically just insert something into people's brains, so they can just do stuff. Yeah, cool. Sure, we'll pass it. And it's just like, where is the humane part in this?
There isn't, because apparently there's a bunch of monkeys that died in the trials too. It was like 18 out of 25 test monkeys died or some shit with this shit. That's not very carbon footprint minded, now is it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or maybe it is because they got rid of him, right?
Right. Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe so. Maybe so. And let me, while we're at it, let me show y'all this video of this fucking monkey playing Pong with his mind.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you sent me that. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Let me show y'all this shit real quick. This is an official Neuralink video.
This is Pager.
Oh shit, that country ass internet.
Who had a Neuralink placed in each side of his brain about 6 weeks ago. If you look carefully, you can see that the fur on his head hasn't quite fully grown back yet. He's learned to interact with a computer for a tasty banana smoothie delivered.
Don't worry, they got wigs for that, by the way.
Facts.
We can interact with the Neuralinks simply by pairing them to an iPhone, just as you might pair your phone to a Bluetooth speaker.
Bruh.
The links record from more than 2,000 electrodes implanted in the regions of Pager's motor cortex that coordinate hand and arm movements. Neurons in this region modulate their activity with intended hand movement. For example, some might become more active when he moves his hand up, and others when he moves it to the right. By recording from many neurons and feeding their activity into a decoder algorithm, we are able to predict Pager's intended hand movements in real time. First, we calibrate the decoder by recording neural activity as Pager uses the joystick to move a cursor to targets presented on the screen. As he's playing this game, we are wirelessly streaming in real time the firing rates from thousands of neurons to a computer.
Bruh.
Using these data, we calibrate the decoder by mathematically modeling the relationship between patterns of neural activity and the different joystick movements they produce. After only a few minutes of calibration, we can use the output from the decoder to move the cursor instead of the joystick. Pager still moves the joystick out of habit, but as you can see, it's unplugged. He's controlling the cursor entirely with decoded neural activity.
Shit's unplugged right here.
Our goal is to enable a person with paralysis to use a computer or phone with their brain activity alone. Because they wouldn't be able to move a joystick, they would calibrate the decoder by imagining hand movements to targets.
Stephen Hawking wet dream right there.
One of the things the Neuralinks allow Pager to do is to play his favorite video game, Pong. To control his paddle on the right side of the screen, Pager simply thinks about moving his hand up or down. We've removed the joystick altogether. Now that he's up to speed, let's increase the difficulty and see how well Pager can play with the Neuralink. As you can see, Pager is amazingly good at mind palm. He's focused, and he's playing entirely of his own volition.
Dude, he's just fucking eating bananas and fucking going ham. Like, his brain is so... Do you see how stimulated this fucking monkey is right now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, he's fucking locked in.
He still sucks, though, man. Look,
obviously,
he needs to get better at this fucking game. He needs to beat the fucking computer at this point. I mean, he's been playing for 5 minutes.
Right, but from him just thinking about moving the shit, like...
Yeah. I don't know.
And it's a monkey?
Yeah.
I know.
I do think, I mean, to be honest, man, I do think this. I mean, like I texted you when you sent me the joint of him. I think he was playing a piano in his head or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
some shit. Yeah.
I think that is pretty cool. But again, I mean, I can say it's cool all day. I'm not gonna fucking do it. So I mean, but I mean, yeah, this obviously is an evil thing. But I do want to ask you this too, because he said he had a Neuralink on each side of his brain. Is that like all four, like one in the front, one in the back, and then obviously on each sides, or just one on the left, one on the right side of like the brains? This is just the two,
I would
right?
assume just one on the left, one on the right,
And then one on the right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because he said on each side of the brain, and I'm just like, well, there's only two, so I would think, but I don't know. Maybe it was just his words was to say that. I don't know.
Yeah, he's on each side, like to try and make it sound like it's some like more special.
That's crazy, because I always thought it was one. I didn't even know it was two.
What, 2 sides of the brain?
No, the Neuralink.
I would have thought it would just been one. I feel that. I would have thought it just been one, like stuck in the back of your neck or some shit.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Because now it sounds even worse, because I mean, we all know that your brain has it works in 2 parts, right? So what if a Neuralink ain't functioning right on one side of the brain? Then what? Does it paralyze you?
I don't know. We'll have to check in on that episode of Black Mirror next. You know what I mean?
It might be like freaking Peripheral, where she just starts having weird migraines when you take the shit off, or when you try and rest, or you try and take a break, and you can't even fucking function well.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that, because you have to watch the rest of the show. But it could be, yes, it could be like that.
This is definitely like this is definitely making humans physical. I mean, you can argue that right now we're the blueprint of AI. Right now we're the blueprint of future Terminators. But this is on a whole nother level.
Oh yeah.
The shit that I was told as a kid growing up, especially in the church, about what they're going to do. I never thought that shit would happen until we started hearing of it years ago. And then sure enough, I mean, you go back to, even I said on here, Isom, when we had him on last, even he admitted to hearing those same stories about. So I can only imagine that it's a whole bunch of people that have been told, again, the pushback is going to be real when this shit comes out.
Oh yeah.
The pushback is going to be real. But I'll tell you another thing. You know how they're going to combat that? The same way they combat everything else. They're going to start paying people for it. Elon Musk, I guarantee you, Elon Musk is going to put something out and say, hey, we're going to pay people $15,000 to volunteer for Neuralink. And people are going to do it.
People are going to do it. They're going to jump for that.
Guarantee people jump into that shit.
15 grand? Oh, shit. I can get me a new car.
And possibly brain damage for the rest of your life. So,
yeah.
Or worse. So,
yeah. I mean, of course, it's going to have to be voluntary, and they're not going to have problems getting people to volunteer.
Yep.
Oh, I don't have to lift a finger? Oh, perfect, dude. Let's fucking do it. Send it, bro. Put that chip right in my head, man. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I know so many people who would jump for that opportunity. 15 grand to test Neuralink.
Yep.
Come on, bro. I know so many.
Look at how many people jump to OnlyFans and still can't even make money off of OnlyFans. So guess how many people are going to be jumping to fucking Neuralink to get paid. So it's they're going to have no problem having volunteers for Neuralink. Guaranteed.
I like your Neuralink to OnlyFans comparison. That's good.
I'm dead.
Same amount of
That
footprint.
was the first thing that came to mind when I thought of like people
Yeah.
running to something for money.
Yeah.
It was this OnlyFans. So that was that was low hanging fruit for me. But yeah,
For sure. Shout out to Mark. He said this is another reminder about how Elon Musk is like the elites in the sense to give us false hopes in return to control us and make it seem beneficial for all. Oh yeah, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. That's, I mean, yeah. Just another reminder, like you said, bro. Just another fucking reminder. And we kind of gave it to you guys as an update too, because we talked about. I mean, we said when he did it, we were like, wait till human trials. Well, here the fuck they are.
Yep. Here we go.
You know what I mean? Here the fuck they are.
It's gonna be a crazy year, man. It's gonna be a crazy fucking year.
Yeah.
Look, my biggest, and y'all know how we do on here, so I'm just talking at this point. I'm just ranting at this point. But what we went through the past few years, I guess at this point, right? With the whole, propaganda agenda shit going on just everywhere, right? I don't want to go through all this shit again. Like, this is freaking, like, 2020 was a long year.
Mm-hmm.
That was a long fucking year.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have to go through this bullshit. And more. Like, look, man, we all gotta, I'm telling y'all, anybody watching us right now, we all gotta stay strong with all this bullshit. We just do. Yeah. I mean, look, nobody wants to go through all this. Nobody wants to, continue to keep telling Big Brother corrupt government, no, we're not doing this shit for you. Like, we're not putting shit in our hands. We're not putting shit in our brains. We're not fucking taking anything you're giving us. Leave us the fuck alone.
Exactly.
Exactly. But I mean, look, do you think maybe later on in life, we may have a possibility of later on in life saying, hey, fought back against the government and we won. The people versus the government, and the people for once won. Do you think that's a possibility? And I know that's a deep question, but maybe we need to have a deep conversation right now when it comes to this.
Do I think that's a possibility? I think the only way, I think yes, but I think the only way it is possible is people have to put their differences aside for the common good. I mean, that's the only way that's going to work. Because if nobody does that, you won't have enough numbers.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough numbers, you're not getting shit done.
Facts.
And people need to tap into them, and if they're not going to do anything physically, they need to tap into themselves spiritually and start getting some spiritual stuff going, because that's the only other way. It's either you need numbers of people, or you need numbers of people, but in a lesser degree, all doing the same sort of spiritual work against the shit. Because this is the only two ways it's going to work.
Yeah.
Either way, I think it's going to work itself out. Like we've said before, I think it is going to work. Whatever work itself out means, whether that's fucking total destruction, whether that's fucking
what I think.
Total corrupt government takeover, or whether that's a few years of strife and turmoil, but you've got functioning small societies of people without crazy government oversight. Whatever that entails, it's going to work either way. It's going, whatever, the collective energy of people is going to drive us to somewhere. So it depends on where that's going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, because I'm leaning more towards the whole mass total destruction thing, where I'm just like, if nature is going to, if nature's going to win, like if human nature's going to win, or I guess natural, I guess energy is going to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether spiritually, physically, whatever. Like, if that happens, I personally think it's gonna be total destruction. I just think it's just gonna be, whatever you guys believe in, and how the world is gonna end naturally, I think is going to happen.
It might have to be, bro. And then out of that might come something good. And then hey, like, think about this. Let's say hypothetically that you and I fought for the greater good of humanity. That was in our forefront of our mind when we were doing things we did, and we died doing it. And then you never got to fucking, and then so did, just say 90% of all the other humans, right?
Mhm.
But out of the ashes of the 10% of humans came a better life for the next 300 years. I would say it'd be worth it.
Yeah.
If it had to come to complete and total destruction for a controlling regime to be erased, and then a new whatever comes out of the ashes that's infinitely more positive and beneficial than the last, I would say that'd be worth it. I don't know.
But they would have to. That's a tough one though, because it could be the 10% that decided to bend the knee that survives. Then
It could be, but I'm saying, like,
there's
in
going
this
to be 10% of people that won't know how to survive on their own to even repopulate and sustain life on Earth. So,
but I'm saying, even after all that, all the people who bent the knee, all the governments, it all got wiped out, and then there's 10% of all the people who were there before.
mm-hmm.
There's no government, there's no oversight, and they got to figure it out on their own. Like, I guess in that point, I see what you're saying now too, because they could just continue to do the shit that they've known. You know what I'm saying?
That's
they
what I'm saying. Yeah, because it could be the 10% of humanity. It could be the world powers that started all the shit.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
They just went into a bunker somewhere or went into space somewhere and let everybody else take care of themselves, and then come back 30 years from now or 3 years from now or whatever the fuck. And then, job well done, guys. Yeah. Now we got to figure out how to make beer. Oh yeah, that's right. We cloned everything, so we got everything already. Like, I mean, it's a scary. I mean, I don't want to say it's a scary future because I don't want to put that energy out there, but it's going to be an interesting future, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting.
I'm not scared. Like, it's going to be what's going to be. I'm doing my work over my side to make sure my shit is all right. But
I'm not scared. It's scary and it's terrifying, but I'm not scared, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not like, what am I going to do? I stand for what I stand for. Like, I believe in what I believe in. I back up what I say with conviction, and that's pretty much what I have is just my word, and I back it up. That's it. When it comes to everything else that goes on, when it comes to in terms of government eventually putting the National Guard out on the streets, that's going to happen. That's when shit's gonna really be real, and they're gonna do it when it comes to what we were just talking about, the pet stuff. If they're gonna implement that, mandates, if they're gonna implement those, which we know they are at some point,
they'll try it again. I'm sure
it's just on a matter of when.
I'm sure.
And when they do that, and then they get the pushback, it's going to be National Guard, and that's when it's really going to pop off. That's when it's really going to be okay. No, nobody can sit on the fence anymore. What is this? What's going on? So, yeah, it's like I said, it's gonna be an interesting future, man. Like, and like Heavy J said, like, you shouldn't be scared or anything like that, but it is something that I feel like it should spark something in you to say, okay, I have to be ready for this, or I at least have to know it's coming. Because if you don't know it's coming, you don't know what's coming after that. And if you don't know what I'm saying, you have to be ahead of the curve when it comes to this stuff. That's why I like that's why having Jay and I do this. That's why we do this. It's to keep anybody that wants to know ahead of the curve.
Facts. And we also got to remember too, I forgot about this till just now. Part of MK Ultra, part of Project MK Ultra was using psychedelics to try and essentially get those extra neurons firing in a way that they could sort of try to harness some brain energy and try to do things with it. They've been working on this type of shit, I think, since like the 60s, bro. Like, legitimately, like, I'm pretty sure that they've been trying to. I mean, I guess that's kind of the same theory as AI, right? It's like you get something to control physical movements that's not physical. You know what I mean? Or you harness non-physical brain waves and energy and neurons firing and capture that data and then predict it, essentially, which is what they said that thing is doing. It's basically predicting the movements that the brain's going to make based on the patterns. So like, I don't know, man. It's fucked. It's just fucked.
Yeah.
And on top of that, who in their right mind would sign up to do a Neuralink trial? I mean, Elon can't even get Teslas to drive themselves without killing people. What the fuck do you think the Neuralink's going to do? He can't even get the rocket in space without the motherfuckers blowing up.
Here's the thing we want to remember: we're all still human. Like,
Exactly.
so there's always going to be human error in these things. So it's like if there's a possibility of human error in what they tried to mandate 2 years ago, there's obviously human error in what the dude tried to make in a vehicle that people trust they put their lives, in danger getting behind these things.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not. I'm not letting you cut a hole in my brain or a slit in my brain, and then put a fucking a Neuralink in there, a SIM
That's a
card
hard
essentially in there, or 2 SIM cards essentially in there. No, thank you.
Yeah. No, I ain't adding no motherfucking SIM slot to my shit, bro.
Yeah, no, thank you. And then you're tracking it. You're tracking my brain waves. Right. It's a bunch of weird stuff that I don't even think I could even say on here that I think that they could be doing to us. So be careful, man. Be careful. Like, if there's one thing I can say is your body is truly a temple. Like do what you want with your body, yes, but just remember, man, like there's certain things that humans should not be doing to their bodies. If you think about hundreds and hundreds and hell, maybe even thousands of years ago, how humans were, and then how we are now. We're pretty much artificial intelligence compared to what we were thousands of years ago. Building empires,
100%.
building villages and stuff like that, and whatever you call it, countries, societies, all that stuff. I mean, think about the people that built pyramids back in the day, like, and then look at what we have today, bruh. There's some kind of disconnect in humanity that I honestly don't know where it happened. I don't know where. I mean, maybe we could have like a deep dive podcast at some point and I guess talk about where humanity kind of got fucked up at.
Yep.
But it's just like, yeah, technology's good and all, but now we're at the point where technology is just like you can use it for good, but why is it that everybody is just looking at it as just like this? I don't know. They want it to be a part of their lives rather than just being like a, something that can help us, something we could use as a hobby or something like that. It's just more of like, how can we make the internet in your mind, the body of internet and all this other stuff? It's just like, why? I don't get it, man.
Control.
Yeah.
And no privacy control, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And think about this too. There was one article or one topic that didn't really make the cut, which was Google was going to be introducing like behavioral interventions. So they're going to like make suggestions on how you should act or say or do things online, right? So if you tie these two things together, so on Neuralink, you see that all it's doing is taking the data that the brain is giving it and interpreting it and copying it. So you take something like what Google's trying to do, which is essentially rewiring your brain to think, oh, let me not say this, let me not say that. Then you add in Neuralink taking those type of brain waves, that information, and then copying that and letting you control things based off of that. So therefore, like your thoughts can be manipulated to the point where you're saying and doing and acting how they want you to act. And then you're going to stay within that because you've got fucking Neuralink and you can just control things based on that you've given the Neuralink for the input. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise it won't work. Like if you start thinking different ways or like fucking up the rhythm, it's not going to work. At least based off of what they were saying, right? Because they were saying like, it's only working because it's predicting. when it stops being able to predict, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So just tying them two things in together, like, I mean, they'll literally have you'll literally be a robot. I mean, basically.
Yeah.
You'll literally be a fucking robot because you'll have been told what to think, how to think, what to do certain things. And then when Neuralink is in full effect or whatever is going to come after Neuralink or whatever, whenever that's in full effect, it's just going to give you more like positive feedback to keep doing that. And then at that point, you're a fucking robot. You're a zombie robot.
And I think another way, because since they're trying to get rid of, reproduction and also, trying to get the population down, I do believe that, AI is going to be our quote unquote children. You're going to have multiple clones, aka AI, robots, Terminators, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Yep.
Of yourself. Now, maybe not physically of yourself, like you may not be black with a beard, wearing Virginia Tech hats all the time, but what it is going to be, it's going to be a robot, whatever you want, whatever the government, Big Brother, whatever wants them to look like, but it's going to have your personality, may have your voice. It's going to have all kinds of shit. I'm telling you, man, like there's so much they can do with this. That's what I'm saying. Don't let them get into your mind, bro. Don't once you let them into your fucking brain or into your body, man, it's over with. Game over. You tapped out.
Done for. Done for.
Done for.
Yeah. Well, any final words on Neuralink or Elon or
don't do it.
Any of that shit. Don't do drugs, kids.
I'll do drugs before I do this. I'll tell you that.
Right. You ain't lying about that. But yeah, man, this shit is fucked. But yeah, I have one more little pseudo topic, more like an update. So I don't think anybody in here watching, except for maybe one or two of our cloud watchers, was around in 2019 when we were casting. But we mentioned Amazon Prime delivering via drone when that first hit. So there is an update on that. Amazon is going to begin Prime Air drone deliveries in Lockeford, California. And I also saw that there's a city in Texas that will be getting these drone deliveries as well. So basically, Amazon announced on Monday that customers in Lockeford, California will be among the first to be able to receive drone shipments later this year. They're saying basically all they have to do is get permission from the FAA and it's a go. Oh God. And the state assemblyman Heath Flora said Lockeford residents will soon have access to one of the world's leading delivery innovations. All right, I must close that to save the internet. And it says he says it's exciting that Amazon will be listening to the feedback of the San Joaquin County community to inform the future development of this technology. So there you go again. They're begging. I told you, you beg and fucking plead for it. You beg the master to give you what you want, and he'll give you what you want, which is drone deliveries. So basically, after a customer has been onboarded and orders a package, a delivery drone will fly to their backyard, descend into the yard, drop the package, and fly away.
So it's basically going to have video surveillance of, I mean, they already have video surveillance of your house anyways, but more details video surveillance of your backyard. Can probably get inside your house. Jesus Christ.
And it's a drone, so it's got 75 cameras on it and all your information and all this and that. So you already know.
If you think about shooting that bitch down, trust me, I've seen some reports already of people.
That'd probably be a federal crime.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a federal crime, but it is a crime to shoot down, to destroy a government drone.
Yeah, you already know.
Like people have been arrested for that. So
yeah. But yeah, there's your update. It's happening. It's here. Amazon drones. Like I said, there's also somewhere in Texas too. I don't remember the city. This article didn't mention it, but I saw on another article that I read about it that there's also a Texas city that'll be getting drone deliveries. But this one, the California one's the first, right? And no surprise, right? It's all like you said earlier in the cast. It's always California. It's always New York. They're like at the forefront of the bullshit. Like
That's where they test out all the bullshit.
Yep. Even a lot of weird shit gets thrown around in Virginia too, which I didn't really think about. But it's one of those like states where you kind of like, I mean, I guess all the governmental shit's there, right? But you know, still kind of pseudo gets tested, at least up in the northern parts, like the bigger city areas and shit, closer to DC and shit.
Right, the bluer cities.
Yeah, the bluer cities. Put it that way. Yeah, the dark blue cities. Virginia goes dark blue and dark red. It ain't no, you know what I'm saying, baby blue.
Ain't no 50-50.
Ain't no 50-50. Ain't no baby blues and pinks around this motherfucker. It's dark blue and dark red, bro. That's it. Ain't no 50-50. That's funny as fuck, man.
Shout out to RevX, man.
Shout out to RevX and the RevX content, but yeah. Oh shit. But yeah, man, that's all I really got for tonight, man. You got anything else you want to bring up, Corn?
Oh well, if you go back to I did a movie review of this not too long ago. Or it might have been back in the spring of Please Hold, where they had the police drone in it. And I'm telling you guys right now, I like to tell y'all what's gonna happen when we see shit like this happen. Because I watch way too much fucking TV and movies to not let y'all know what the fuck is about to happen. Guess what's gonna happen after they start rolling out all these, once they start getting these Amazon drones all over the country and all over the world? Guess what's gonna happen next? You're gonna have fucking, because we're already seeing we're at a record low right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jaron. A record low of employment of policemen in America right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, we've already seen them implement the robot dogs out in Philly, right? And I think in the DC area too. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on the DC area, but I know at least in Philly, they already got robot canine dogs.
Yep. And
with weapons on them.
Yeah, with weapons on them. Yeah. About saying Cali, was it San Francisco? They just authorized the robots to be able to kill.
Yep.
In California.
Yeah.
And then you couple that with and then you add this drone technology to that already has your address from Amazon, who we already know is working with the government. Then what?
Got
you see how it's all connected? It's all intertwined, bro.
Which means they can pull up to your window right next to your bedroom.
Fly away like anybody know what the fuck happened, bro. We heard what you said online, and you must answer for it. Flies away. Talking about
print out your fine for saying fuck Biden.
Yeah.
On the sidewalk 2 days ago.
yeah. And then next thing you know, you're suicided with no gun. You know what I'm saying? No forced entry, no nothing. Like,
dang, yo, where's it? I ain't heard from Heavy J in a hot minute. This nigga, all of a sudden, got a visit from the drone cops.
Fuck that shit. I ain't going out like that.
Can you imagine watching somebody try and fist fight a drone though?
It'd be like watching somebody fist fight a kangaroo, I imagine.
Unless you're that one dude from that video a few years ago where he went up and socked that kangaroo in the face.
Yeah.
He was messing with his dog.
Yeah. That shit was funny. Now, what we need to do is go practice skeet shooting and duck hunting and shit. Get that fucking pull. You know what I'm saying? Get that fucking aerial practice in, aerial shooting practice in. Yo, speaking of that, random side note like a motherfucker. But I saw this fucking video of this fucking dude wearing American flag Crocs, right? this motherfucker he was with a homie. They were drinking beer, and then he had a shotgun, and there was a bird or duck or something in the air. He just goes, doosh, and then the fucking thing falls out of the sky, and he catches it.
Hey, that's
he
as American as it gets.
out the sky and caught it. I was like, bro, what the fuck? I was like, this is peak redneck right here.
Yeah, I want to say that's as American as it gets right there.
That's as America as it fucking gets. Got the beer, shooting in his backyard.
Got the Crocs.
With the flag on him. Catches the motherfucker. Yeah, I was just like, dude, that's just if that
was it a bird?
I think it was a duck or something. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Or bird, or I think it might have been a bird actually. It was something flying. That's all I know. I was like, bro, that's next level. I ain't never seen nothing like that. But
mega facts.
Yeah, peak America right there.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I was like, man, I know about 50 motherfuckers at work who would fucking love that shit. Oh man. But yeah, man. That's what's down the pike. Everything we talked about tonight, that's what's coming down the pike for next year and beyond. Y'all should definitely be on the lookout for that motherfucking peripheral review because we're gonna get into it. I can't wait till you watch the rest of it, Corn, because we gotta really talk about that shit because we gonna have to get into it. I think I'm not gonna say anything else, but y'all gonna have to just catch it to get my thoughts because I have some strong feelings about that TV show, which we'll get into. But fuck it, man. Anything else you want to say, Corn, before we get up out of here, bro?
Well, I'm not too big on the whole year change bullshit. Most agendas are. That's why we always talk about 2023. But to be honest, man, going to a new year, I just want to say, make sure you guys have your shit in order. Make sure you guys, and if you don't have your shit, like I don't have everything in order, not even close, but at least make sure you guys are on pace to do it. At least you guys are on pace to know what's coming and to at least somewhat be ready for it. Because it is coming. Whether it's going to be a food shortage, whether it's going to be an AI takeover, whether it's going to be mandates, whether it's going to be natural disaster, or it could be all. It could be all of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so just at least somewhat be on the lookout, somewhat be prepared. But y'all are already sitting here watching us, so y'all already ahead of the curve, anyways. You already got a leg up against at least most of society.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to big us up. That's just saying that we're aware. We're more aware than the average person. We just are, just because we went out of our way to research this stuff. We go out of our way to look for this stuff. Jerry more so than I do, obviously. I take this shit in doses, trust me. But at the same time, man, we have to be aware. We have to be ready for this shit that's coming. Most definitely. Facts. And going into a new year, man, just me I'm gonna be personal with y'all for a minute, man. 2020 was on. I mean, obviously 2020 was a year or whatever, but 2020 for me was actually it was a year of growth. 2021 was another year of growth. 2022 as well, and I started noticing this year specifically, just like on a spiritual level, an emotional level, I guess on a I guess you could say even on the physical level, that you continue to grow. And when people say that they continue to grow, it's not just like, oh, I learned this one day, I learned this, but it's like when you're learning more about yourself. And when you can learn more about yourself and implement that into your everyday life, and then you actually start to see change. And I'm not saying like it can be any kind of change, financial change, spiritual, whatever, whether you're in a better mood, whether you say something better to somebody, all that stuff it's not just about your delivery, but it's how you carry yourself when nobody's watching. And I know that's what everybody says, but it's literally how you should be living your life. You should live your life in a way of you're never going to settle. And I'm not saying settle, not just settle at your job or again, not just financially, any stuff like that, but I mean, not settling for just, hey, this is just me, this is who I am, whatever. There are some ways you can do that, and that's great. I'm not weighing a lot of stuff in a lot of ways as well. But you'll know when you know. I mean, it's different for every person. Growing as a person is always necessary. Just remember that going in 2023. Growing as a person is always fucking necessary.
Facts.
Because
Facts. Can't be
everybody, yeah, like everybody's looking to grow. We're starting to see more and more people getting more and more. I hate to use this word awake, but awake. Everybody's getting more aware of shit now. Everybody's trying to, everybody's trying to get into this long money game now. So
yeah,
I feel like the government is catching on, and they're saying, oh, there's a lot of people out here trying to be independent. So you already know that the government's already going to be trying to put a stop. I mean, we already see what's happening with crypto. Like the government's already gonna put their stamp on crypto, and it seems like pretty fucking soon. So, I'm not gonna say I completely missed that boat, but I feel like I somewhat missed that boat a little bit. But that's a whole nother conversation. But what I'm saying is, going into this new year, again, I'm not too big. That's why I don't do New Year's resolutions and no shit like that. But remember, this is a new year, guys. This is a year from January to December. At the end of December, the same way we're all looking at ourselves, because I don't care if anybody says they don't look, that you at least look back on the year and say, how was this year for me? If you're unsatisfied at how this year was, there should be no excuse of not making it better for next year. That's all I can really say. I mean, and again, without getting too much in it, that's just how I viewed this year for me. Is just like, man, this year was good. Don't get me wrong. I had some fun this year. I had some great times this year. But at the same time, it's just like, man, next year has to be. I want to feel better after all of that. At the end of the day, so let's for everybody, man. Let's make 2020. No matter how good 2022 was, no matter how bad 2022 was, 2023 got to be better. Make it better, not for anybody else, but for yourself.
Facts. I mean, shit. Ain't really much I can add to that, except from a different perspective. I don't do New Year's resolutions per se, but I do like write out some goals for the next year and look back periodically to see how I'm doing on that shit. That's a good way to take actionable steps towards making the shit better. It's just like writing down some goals you want to do. You know what I mean? And then kind of just basing your actions and thought patterns and shit around the shit you actually genuinely want or trying to make happen. And like that shit does make a huge difference. So just some practical, like, 2022 might not have been the best for me. So let me try and up that shit. You know what I mean? I would say 2022 was good for me too. It was definitely a very interesting year, I would say. Since 2020, like you said, Corn, I've done a lot of growing too. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of shit's changed. A whole lot of shit's gone up, down, left, and right. But in all, you know, at the end of the day, in all good ways, all positive ways, right? So yeah, I plan on making. I'm really excited about 2023. I'm really excited about. I don't know. I feel good about it. You know, like I feel like shit's really gonna start popping next year. For me personally, like really. So I'm hype about it. I got my shit. I don't have all my plans written out and shit yet, but I've got my shit. You know what I'm saying? I got my ideas. I just need to like write them down and then get the shit. You know what I'm saying? Going and get that going and shit. But yeah, honestly, it's already starting for me. Honestly, you're gonna be honest. It's kind of already getting that ball rolling is already starting.
Yeah, and I made sure that in December too as well. I was like, fam, I ain't waiting to no damn. Like I was talking to one of my homeboys the other day. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I just started doing it. He was like, yeah, I'm starting January. I was like, man, I wouldn't have started no damn January. I was like, if I said I was going to do something, I'm gonna fucking do it tomorrow at the latest. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna start living my life this way. I'm gonna start tomorrow if I can. So that's what I started doing. I started doing it early December. Just little stuff, you know, like I started putting notes, just little stuff, like putting like sticky notes on my door whenever I walk outside of my room. I got one of my notes is like, don't be a fucking loser today. Like I'm just like, hey, to me, that's motivational because to me, I kind of need that reminder of like, hey, don't be lazy. If I want to, hey, make that extra video or spend this extra time going to the gym or spend this extra time to I don't know, finish up doing, something I need to do in terms of, a resume or something like that. You know what I mean? Just little stuff. So yeah, 2023 is like you said, likewise, like it's going to be looking pretty good, man.
Mm-hmm. I feel that, and that's free. And that's free game. What Corn just dropped, y'all. That that's definitely free game. Taking the sticky notes, little reminders like that. That shit really does hit. Like,
yeah, because I'm a massive procrastinator, man. Like if like I try and be the best at what I say I'm gonna do, but at the same time, man, like I procrastinate a lot, man. So like I really like I do the little things, man. Like sticky notes, man. That shit's really worked for me the past couple weeks, bro. So
hell yeah, bro. Well, yeah, keep doing that shit, man. Keep doing that shit. Add one that says "I am the greatest" on there and stick that motherfucker. Serious. I'm dead ass.
I'm dead.
That should change.
I don't think I'll put that up there, but
you should.
That's a good idea.
You should. Hell yeah. Well, shit. The clock struck midnight and everybody dipped.
I'm good.
Shit. Well, you know what that means.
I'm dead.
Go over, folk.
Go.
All over, folks.
Go, folks.
But yeah, thanks for rocking with us, man. Thanks for bearing with us through that fucking test stream, that the stream that never was.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Be on the lookout for the next stream in 2023. Be on the lookout for a lot of changes with the comrades in 2023. Be on the lookout for a lot of changes on Half-Ass Pod in 2023. I already know. I ain't even gotta even ask. I already know what the deal is. You know what I'm saying? So be on the lookout for continued growth from the both of us. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, man, y'all have a good New Year's Eve and all that shit. This is probably the last stream we gonna get to before the new year. Unless we randomly do a fucking another end of the year dash. That was fun as fuck last year.
I'm dead. We did. Was that was last year we did that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Holy shit.
We was on here for a minute too.
Damn. Yeah. That was what? That was like a 4-hour stream.
Yeah, that shit
was like a 4-hour joint. Yeah.
We was on here fucked up and everything. But yeah. Anyway.
One last plug too about HAP too. I'll let y'all know because I know I haven't posted any videos in a while, or actually in a couple weeks, not a while, but a couple weeks. If y'all haven't seen my the live that I did yesterday, that Jake and I did yesterday, I waited until after the new year. I took a couple weeks off. I got like not burnt out from YouTube or anything, just burnt out just in general of everything. YouTube was not part of that, but I just been chillaxing around the holiday season. But once New Year comes, which we're only a couple days from it anyways, back to the old grind. So be on the lookout. Make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe over there, hit that notification bell over there as well. But not before doing that over here. Okay.
Major facts. And with that being said, I guess I'll play some more random metal. We'll see what we can find here. Thanks for rocking with us. It's been a Contemporary Comrades podcast. Heavy J Corn. Hit the like, subscribe, get the merch. I just got myself a 16-ounce Comrades glass and a hoodie, and I'm telling you that motherfucker is warm, and the glass is nice to drink my earth juice out of. Shout out to Former. So I'm telling y'all, man, go ahead and get y'all some merch, man. The shit's nice. I don't even got it in front of me right now, but it's in the damn kitchen. But that's because I've been using it. You feel me? So y'all should do the same thing. But anyway, shameless plugs over with. It's Heavy J, it's Corn, it's the Comrades. Catch y'all on the flip. Catch y'all in 2023. Oh, and we'll still be playing metal in 2023 too. This song takes so many fucking turns. Peace out, Mark.
Shout out to Mark, man. Happy New Year.
Yes. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Hunter. Shout out to Revis Content. Shout out to Nate. Shout out to our cloud watchers. We appreciate all y'all.
Mega facts.
And we out.
Yes.